Hey, you guys. How are you? Hi, Anna. Hi, Jody. How are you guys doing tonight? I am kind of tired, but I am on anyway. I have some music in the background, so if it's bothering you guys, just let me know. I'm not sure how it sounds on your end or if you can even hear it. Um, just to make the room not so freaking quiet. We're going to do our energy check in tonight because I didn't do it this week. Unfortunately, I ran out of time and I've just been super busy with my day job, which has been sucking the living life out of me. Um, so, we're going to do that. Oh, Jody says she's good but tired too. Okay, good. Hey, Nicole. Thanks for joining us. So, so, today was the day that Mercury went direct again. And I think a lot of people thought it was going to get like super nice and like super awesome and great. And honestly, today was one of the worst days I've had this whole last month. So I'm not sure what's going on. Definitely transmuting a lot of energy for myself and for other people. Um, and and I know when I'm doing that because I feel like I'm wearing a helmet, as weird as that sounds. Like I feel pressure on my head. So I don't know if you guys have felt kind of weird lately, but the energies are definitely shifting and changing. New stuff coming in all the time. It's just a really potent time for energy changes. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do the normal thing. Hey, how are you? Goddess Awakened said, very dense energy since yesterday. Is it just me? No, not at all. I mean, yesterday, last night, and today was probably the worst I've had it for the last few weeks. I mean, I had a few rough days, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, but I don't even know how to describe how last night and today were. Like, I just feel tired. I feel like mentally drained, emotionally drained, physically heavy. Hi, Barry. Thanks for joining us. And TP Love, thank you for joining us. Energy and Light, so good to see you. Heather Lynn, thanks for joining us. Let's see what just popped out. I hadn't really asked a question, but sometimes some messages come up. Okay, the Magician with the 10 of Wands and the Hanged Man. So I guess I do kind of feel like this is a message for any of us who have been transmuting energies, that like we're kind of cycling through it and coming toward the end of it. That there's maybe just a little bit more. I'm feeling like, actually, I'm hearing 3 weeks. So I really would rather not be doing this for 3 more weeks, but I feel like there's going to be a little more ebb and flow up and down for the next 3 weeks or so. Flex, I have felt the same, just like stuck in a rut. And I have not been sleeping at night. It's been terrible. I was blaming blood sugar, like, you know, did I go and freaking eat some frozen yogurt at 9 p.m. and then go to bed? Like, if I do that, then that's my own fault. But I wasn't doing that. And I just cannot. I'm up every day, every night between 2:30 and 3 a.m. and I can't fall back asleep until it's almost time to get up. And it's just horrible. So yeah, just super. And today I was just so tired. I could barely function. I'm trying to lead my team at work and I could barely freaking function. So I really hope that this is ending soon. Goddess Awakened said no sleep also. Hey, Shiloh. Shiloh, thank you so much for your patience. Shiloh is waiting for a reading. And I will be getting that to you. You are next. So you'll be getting that very shortly. Anna, hi. Anna De Silva. Michelle, nice to see you. Katie, I see you too. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. Oh, thanks, Shiloh. I appreciate it. I know you said that before, but I'm Virgo rising, so I like things done, and I like them done on time, and I like them done right away. So the first question, you know how this goes. Like, think about, I'll probably ask you to provide some questions for the collective, and then we'll move on to some personals. But I'm going to go ahead and start with my 3 usual questions. And the first one is, what energies are coming up for us at this time in the next week? Well, okay, here's a couple cards. Let me see what else. What energies are coming up for us at this time in the next week? Bridget, you're up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm just assuming it is the heightened vibrational signature of the surroundings, and that, I'm clearing stuff as I attempt to match it. Um, but it's freaking obnoxious. Okay. What are the energies that are coming in for us this week? Woo! All right. I'm using the Spolia Tarot again, too, if anybody is interested. All right, guys. So the first thing that came up was the 4 of coins with the star. And so there's some stuff that maybe we've been like not moving on from, and some of that is so I feel like there was like an intentional not moving on from some stuff. Like a few things maybe felt too hard to deal with, too far away, or maybe like you were like, I don't really have to do that one right now, or whatever. Like I don't know. There was some reason. Everybody could be different for why you weren't dealing with a certain situation or a certain thing. That's coming up now. Okay. I do feel like this might surround so I'm hearing there's some, okay, so what we've got here is the 8 of coins with the 4 of wands, the Empress, and the 3 of swords. So I'm kind of getting this feeling of for some people it's going to be mother stuff. Like things that okay, so I posted a video a couple weeks ago about like why can't you find your happiness, or something like that, or like our perpetual unhappiness is something about it. And it was all about the mother wound, and how, even when you have this great relationship with your mother, there's a whole lot buried in there, just because we're human. And your mother might be the most amazing person on earth, but we're all human, and so shit happens, man. Just the like act of being born and being human brings in wounding. It just is. And people, including our mothers, parent from their wounded selves, unless they have somehow, healed and cleared themselves before parenting, which is what we're all trying to do right now. Parenting or not, we're all trying to heal our wounded selves so that we don't continue to pass that on. Hi, Kayla. Hi, HMC. How are you? So I feel like there is some mother or female wounding coming up. I also feel like it also applies to our wounded feminine side, and the part of us that is um, just resisting the allowance of certain things. Um, it's the resistance of the allowance, and I feel that is very. It's almost like under the surface, because we're all saying we want this healing to come in, right? We're all saying we want changes and for our lives to move forward, but there are, you know, we're steeped in this society, in this like um this environment where every single one of us, male or female, we're taught to like achieve, to survive, to the rat race to get in front of somebody else or whatever. Even when we're operating supposedly from the point of or from the perspective of unity, we still grew up in that. We still, like, for me, I am really, I mean, I'm an achiever. I've always been an achiever. And so, like, having to step back from that and learn a new way of being, when that for me was my way of surviving, that was my way of getting my parents' attention, that was my way of making a space for myself in this world. Allowance has been very hard, and that's for both men and women, because we all have that feminine part. So I think that we're just really going to have to um, pay special attention to that. Hi, sea anemone. um, and make sure that we're doing that, because that's going to help create and bring in some more balance that we haven't necessarily had yet. So you're balancing out your empress side. Okay. And that goes again for everyone. And it's holding on to those old patterns, the patriarchal sort of patterns that we don't even know they're there. We're so used to them. And so any time that okay, so they're telling me you'll know when you are pushing too hard, if you're feeling anxiety, frustration, a need to get ahead. If you're doing that, if you're pushing that far ahead, then you need to pull back into your feminine energy, whether you're a man or a woman, okay? Like this pushing is what they sort of want to get to stop, because that is causing imbalance um, for you on a mental level, which is creating emotional imbalance as well. So it's like your thoughts are creating a kind of energetic signature, okay? And it's affecting your emotions. And then you're like broadcasting this out. And you're broadcasting out this Three of Swords energy. Or we, I shouldn't say you, but we as a collective. Now, are we really doing that badly? No. Like this is just a finer point of healing, because we've come so far is another thing that they're making sure to tell me right now. And I think that was part of this magician coming out in the beginning. It's like we have really come so far. Even those who had just started on this process, they have also come so far in such a short amount of time. I'm also being reminded, this has come up a number of times recently with the star. And I actually had a bizarre visitation a couple nights ago from the divine feminine. For me, it appeared as so last week, actually, it was Isis, because I was wearing that Isis necklace. And then the first card out had Isis on it. And we started talking about Isis a little bit. So, anyway, that progressed this week and it became the Blessed Mother for me. And she has continued to appear for me over and over again with a lot of different messages. And to me, it's all kind of the same. It's these different embodiments of the divine feminine. Another woman in one of the groups that I'm in was talking about Kuan Yin. And I guess one of the days last week was Kuan Yin Day. Or some kind of day celebrating Kuan Yin, where she's from. I can't remember where she's from. Might have been like Myanmar or something. But anyway, so the divine feminine coming up over and over again. Be sure you're tapping into that, into the guidance that to the ascended master guidance that's available to you, filtering into your own divine feminine. Does that make sense to everybody? Let's get some more information. Yeah, Goddess Awakened. I've had that same fucking feeling. Earlier today, in fact, it was so heavy in my chest that I felt like someone was like crushing me. And that's a little bit unusual, like I'm pretty much in control of my energy. But it was really nuts. So are we picking up our divine feminines picking up and transmuting divine masculine collective energies? I'm going to say yes, but I'm also feeling that we're transmuting our own as well. Okay. Yeah, this is the Queen of Coins with the Two of Swords here, and this to me feels like a grounding and balancing of opposite energies. So I feel like we're probably doing all of it. And that's a message I received earlier this week as well. Like there are times when I get frustrated because I feel like I'm transmuting so much, but they may be dealing with more difficult things on the physical plane while we're dealing with whatever we're dealing with on the energetic plane. And it's completely balanced. It is not, it's not like we're doing more work than they are. Okay. And now that might be opposite for whatever your situation is, where maybe, the masculine is doing some of the energetic stuff. But that was an interesting thing that I got this week as well. 9 of Wands with the Page of Wands. Okay, so what I'm getting from this right now with the 9 of Wands and the Page of Wands is really like this call to take a step back and just allow it to flow through. Okay, try not to get overly frustrated, worried about it, or like kind of freaked out and upset. I'm feeling like this process is nearing its end. Okay, Whatever this phase of the process is, I believe we continue to ascend and evolve throughout our lifetimes in existence, period, outside of physical life. So we'll always continue to evolve and change. But yes, Anna, Neptune is literally sitting on Mercury, which is in Pisces, where it hates to be. This is affecting everyone's energy. Yes. I absolutely agree with that. And one of the people I do watch on YouTube, because I don't watch too many, because I don't like to affect my energy, but I do watch the Leo King. And he said the same thing yesterday or something similar. And that makes so much sense to me. Anybody who's asking for personal messages, we will get to those later, closer to the end of the reading. Okay. So we're just doing collective messages right now. So do know that this phase of transmuting energies and purging is coming to a close soon. Okay. I don't know what soon is, but I did get 3 weeks just a few minutes ago regarding this current cycle. Okay. For me, it's been that to fall back, go within whatever situation is, no forcing, just flow. Yes, HMC, that is exactly what is coming through here, is like just that reminder to make sure you're flowing, make sure you're connecting into that side of yourself, connect up to your divine feminine ascended masters for assistance, support, and help and guidance. Hi, Malia, and hi, Pearl. And I think that will help to support you a lot. I'm just trying to like flip through these messages really quickly. Let's see. What was this one? How do I use, this is from Why You Want to Know Me. How do I use the law of one to reconnect to Ra and my other highest spiritual guides? Well, so for me, it's a function of us all being part of the same whole, us all being actually intimately connected anyway, and they're actually part of within you. And so the first thing you need to do is really connect deeply with yourself. So start with your higher self. And from there, that is also a part of them. And so you're going to end up, when you call through your higher self, you're going to be able to pull those energies in through you to begin to receive their messages and contact them in whatever way you feel is appropriate. I have a very specific way of doing it. I like to reach up to the source creator energy first, and then I will call out, whatever ascended masters that I would like to work with that day or at that time, or I will allow them to come to me. I always connect to source energy first through my higher self and all the way up to source energy, because that is literally all that is, So it's the highest vibration that you can have, and everything is accessible from there. So that's what I would suggest about connecting to Ra or any other highest spiritual guides. Really comes down to just ask, but make sure you've connected in through your higher self first up to source energy, so that you're getting the highest vibrational stuff, unless you're very experienced and know the difference between higher and less resonant vibrations. Let's put it that way. Okay. Also, I just want to ask you guys to please like this video if you haven't already, because it helps people to see us online if they're scrolling through their feeds, and then they can jump on with us. Okay, so what's the next question I have? What is changing for the collective? What's changing for the collective right now? What is changing for the collective right now? What's changing for the collective? I am getting a harmonizing, like a unifying of everyone. We're not even like talking about like divine compliments here. I'm talking about everyone. There's a greater connection between each individual human. I feel like, you might call it telepathy, or on some levels it's more of an intuition, but there's going to be more energy exchange, or there is already more energy exchange between human beings. because those pathways are opening up. Like it's almost like they've been cleared out by this upward shifting vibration. We're not as dense, and we're not being held so heavily like close to earth anymore. It's not really close to earth, but they're just showing me like being weighed down. And so those higher vibrational energies are able to flow more freely, and people are noticing them because it's like when that denser stuff goes away, the lighter vibrational stuff is more noticeable to them. It's almost about it's again, it goes back to allowing or noticing. You know what I mean? Like it's always around you, always available. It's just that we don't always see it or notice it. Okay, so what is changing for the collective? Wow, okay. I feel like I'm always delivering this message, but it also is always happening where we are kind of moving away from difficult situations. So we've got the Six of Swords with the Five of Wands here. And to me, this is like a bowl of shit soup. And we're like sailing away from that, from a difficult situation into a better situation. Now, this can be in many different ways. This can be physically moving. I'm feeling right now that a lot of this is actually us dumping repetitive negative thoughts. Okay. So that is a big one that's happening right now. In doing that, you are actually clearing the way for new um, a new cycle to begin on the emotional front, okay? One that actually you have been trying to manifest and waiting for a while. So again, we could be talking about like, you know, romantic relationships, divine compliments, twin flames, any of that kind of business. Or we can be talking about family situations settling down, or we can be talking about a new, just like a renewed lust for life. You know what I mean? Just like there's this feeling right now that is just so heavy. And we're waiting for that fog to lift, so that we can have this new lust for life coming through. This with the cup here, I tend to feel it's based in the heart, and it's more on an emotional scale, but this can absolutely be your love for existence. Okay, because I know that a lot of people are struggling with that right now. I know there are some days where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's just like, meaning my job. For me, it's my job. I can't do this anymore is how I feel some days. um so there's just a lot of toxic programming. That is a great way to talk about these two cards. This is departing from toxic programming, releasing negative thought patterns, which have basically been what put this is about growth and waiting for something to grow and be big enough for harvest, right? And one of the things that can keep that moving slowly is those toxic thought patterns that we're trying to get rid of. Hi, Lana. Good to see you again. Oh, sorry. Oh no, we're buffering. Let me see if I can change my I am not sure if this will help or not, but I'm going to try to turn on my hotspot on my cell phone. Let's see. Okay, it's clear. All right, great. So, as I was saying, there's just a new emotional doorway, like something for everybody. It might be different. A lot of people here, it's going to be relationships, but not, of course, for everybody. Finally, there is sort of And I think that this new beginning is coming along with some endings, right? We've got the 7 of Cups with the 8 of Cups. And this, I feel like, is just this new departure from illusion. Okay. So from the things that, you know, it's like we're being asked to pick and choose in our life what really resonates with us and leave behind the things that are negative or toxic or just not working for us anymore. How many times have we've been asked to do this, right? But it's a new cycle. We keep paring it down and paring it down and paring it down so that we're really being authentic. And it's all about that authenticity. You know, anywhere that you're not being totally authentic, that shit is getting knocked away. It is like it's it's being like, well, you're being given the opportunity to remove it yourself. And you know, and if you don't, then like things become so discordant and disharmonic that, you know, you end up removing it eventually anyway. So it's just like when you really take the time to be very honest and authentic with yourself about what is or isn't working for you, you're going to pick out some of these 7 cups and you're going to say, this is not working for me anymore. You know, thank you for the lessons you taught me. That's, you know, that's one of the things I say when I do a karmic release with my clients. Thank you for the lessons you taught me. You taught me this, 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 and this. You no longer need to teach me this thing. And now we're walking away. Now we're releasing our karmic contract or whatever. Okay. So that's what I'm getting. That's one of the things that's changing, is that there is a lot in the collective, masculine, feminine, or everybody all together, just releasing some more of that karmic baggage. Why? It is too dense to be able to survive in this new paradigm. It's just not going to survive. So you're going, whether people are awake to it or not, they're going to start leaving pieces of it behind because it's going to be too difficult to continue to maintain, if that makes sense. Lana, I never like to plan. Now I don't plan. I flow, and boy, oh boy, my friends don't like that too much. They are shit. I thought it said they are shitting, but they are shifting. And yes, they are probably shitting too, because they're probably like, oh my God, what is going on? But yes, I'm the same. I'm absolutely the same. Okay. Why don't I, let's see. How long have we been going? Oh my gosh, it's almost been a half hour. Why don't you guys start throwing me some questions for the collective? Not personal questions yet, just for the collective. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a different deck, and I'm going to ask about divine partnerships and how they're being affected, because I know that includes most, if not all of you. Okay, so I'm just going to go with this good old reliable psychic tarot. How are divine partnerships being affected by the shifts that are coming in this coming week? Bridget Lynn, I'm trying not to let my weird fun self out too quickly. I don't want my friends to overdose on fun and love. I don't know. That doesn't sound so bad, Bridget. Some people don't want you to shift. You got to make the time and space for yourself. That is true. HMC, that is so true. Some people want to hold on to, and those are people who are somehow benefiting from remaining in the lower vibrational state. That's what I have learned. Even it may even come down to somebody, you know, so in my healing practice, I find that when you get down to it, some people who just are not receiving the healing, there's something that they are getting out of remaining in that lower vibrational state. And they might not consciously be doing that to themselves, but they are on an unconscious level. And so you can have all kinds of things happening. But at the end of the day, it's going to get, if you're rising, it's going to get so uncomfortable that you are going to end up making choices to remove things from your life that just are not working anymore. Oh, good, Jody, you just got this one. Yeah, I like this. I like the ones that have the chakra cards in it because I find them so insightful. All right, so how are these shifts affecting divine partnerships this week? Oh, for God's sakes. Anybody else want to join me in making a barf face? Patience. This is the Temperance card. And so it's not all about patience. For me, this really feels actually more about balancing, which we already talked about, um, and pulling through that feminine energy on all of us. I'm also hearing that there's an opportunity for new growth to root within us, um, because of the changed. So because of the changed energies, there are like some of it's coming in through as downloads, messages, things that we never could have contained before. We are containing now because of our shifting. So that is important. It's apparently I feel like it's important for everybody, but this is coming out as being important for divine partnerships. Anazanka's seeing 14 all day. That's cool. Me too, actually. I've seen a lot of that. 441, 144. The other one is 117, 711, 1717. These are the ones that I cannot stop seeing. Oh, and 4477 has started. And 47. So I don't know if April 7th is going to be significant for any of you. But that has come up like 8 billion times. Okay, come on, let's get more cards. Six of Cups, memories of love. The Six of whatever this is, emotion, water. Six of Cups. I'm feeling this as like a return to your roots. Why are you doing this? Why are you on this journey? Why are you? And I don't like saying journey because then that implies that you're still traveling, that you're not already in the place that you want to be. And we are. We are literally already in that place. We literally already are there. We just need to choose it, right? And align to it. It's a matter of aligning. So returning to that alignment, returning to those roots. Allow yourself, and I'm talking roots, and the thing that was attracting me on this card before was that flower that's growing out. When I was talking about like new things are being are capable of sprouting forth at this time, because of the shift in energy, because of the new downloads coming in. So so this is they're giving me a lot of really grounded words. They're also reminding me about a video I posted last week about actually grounding yourself by walking barefoot outside, and that is somehow beneficial to us, right? It assists in the alchemy of alchemizing the energy. It assists in clearing the energy within you and balancing the energy within you. So this balance that we are trying to achieve is actually assisted by coming into direct contact with the earth. Now, scientifically, that video was showing that it has something to do with electrons and how that does something. I don't even remember. Okay. I don't pretend to be a scientist. I don't pretend to be anything but a channeler and healer. And so that is the information they're showing me right now. Go back and watch that video, and I'll have to watch it again in this perspective. So I would recommend that. It was 70 degrees here in Ohio today, so it is definitely time to be walking around barefoot. And I do feel that it is related to the solar energy coming in, that is such a nourishing, like a nourishing energy for us and everything on the earth. And so it's all kind of interconnected. Like I keep talking about releasing dense energies, but the earth and the physical and the 3D is not always that dense energy. It's like the shit that we're carrying that is no longer resonating with us. There are physical things on this earth we're meant to be in contact with. We're meant to synergize. I don't know why they wanted to say synergize with. Okay. So make sure that you're not denying yourself that contact with other people or things of this world or nature or, going out and being social or something like that. Those things are all very important. So make sure that you are integrating that at this time as well. Ohio was 70 degrees today. Lana. So go get back to your roots. You already have this vibration of unconditional love, this vibration of perfect harmony. vibration of harmonious union, you have this already within you. It's a matter of noticing it. Here we are again with noticing and allowing and aligning. Okay. Okay, we've got temptation with sacrifice and triumphant success. So, this feels to me like more of those karmic cycles ending. Like I was trying to avoid using those words because they're so overused, but this feels like more karmic cycles ending. It feels like the completion of a whatever, some of your karma. Now I feel like you may have individual karma with, okay, so I've had people from my past, and this could have been Mercury retrograde, excuse me, I can't talk, popping up for me over this past week or so, but I've had lots of people from my past just popping the fuck up, and they were all ones that I didn't think about it much at the time, but then later I would get this random, just really intense emotional pain. It would bring me back to a certain experience, and I would realize at that time that I am essentially suspended here in time, in emotion, so that I can take the moment to clear, right? To clear that emotion that was stored within my body, within my emotional body, within my mental body, within my energy body. Does that make sense to you guys? Like we are holding all of that stuff within us, and that's the dense stuff I'm talking about. And so that happened to me physically a number of times this week. And and I feel like that is, I did feel, because it actually involved like relationships for me, or parental relationships. I do feel like that is directly connected to divine partnerships. So if you're experiencing that, or if you do experience that in the week ahead, because we're actually technically talking about the week ahead, but time is fluid, so like whatever. Then make sure you take that moment, suspend yourself in air, right? Suspend yourself, take the time to address that and set it free. Okay. Set it free. Now, how everybody sets it free is different. I'm an energy healer. Part of the way I do is I'm very good at opening up my energy and allowing it to just leave, or asking source creator to come in and remove it, and watching it go up and be transmuted into unconditional love. Or simply use your breath. That is a great way to do it, and just visualize it coming out and releasing to the light, or unconditional love, or whatever. Okay. Yeah, childhood stuff, Bridget, that's coming up for people. See, an enemy just went through this. Anna was saying this, this sounds like it's just for her. So it sounds like we're all kind of on the same page here. Okay. And so this is good stuff. Goddess awakened happened to me too with relatives. Clearing karma awakened warmth and love and connections. It was divine orchestration. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So that's exciting stuff. I mean, how many times have I feel like I'm always repeating myself, but it is like cycle upon cycle upon cycle for us to get deeper and deeper and deeper. It's those layers of the onion that we're peeling away to get into the good stuff in the center. Okay. Do not forget the idea of allowing at this time, because I feel like that is so, so important. I don't know where Venus is. I feel like that probably has something to do with it, with the divine feminine. Not sure. Okay. So, is there anything else I wanted to say? No, that was all my questions. Now, who has anybody? It probably isn't Pisces, Jody, to be honest, which would be why we're talking so much about allowing. Because Pisces just loves to like flow, and like go really deep. So that could be where it is. I'm not really sure. Venus is currently moving into Pisces. Okay, thanks, Anna. Yes, it absolutely would love Pisces. So that makes a ton of sense. Makes a ton of sense. Let's do this. Does anybody else have any questions for the collective? Okay, if not, then let's see, we're at 40 minutes. I'll go ahead and start taking personal questions if you have them, and I will do my best to keep up. Okay, which deck do I want to use here? Why has the energy gotten heavier, Lana says. I actually think that it's our energy that feels heavier because it's bringing that stuff up to the surface, but let's see what the cards had to say. And Flex wants a message for guides. The Hermit, yeah. Lana, I feel like it really is, it's our stuff coming up from inside that's so heavy. It's just that we've suppressed it so much and that we're now like holding so much more light that it's shining the light onto the darkness, and we're now being able to see it, recognize it, know it, and allow it to leave. And so it really feels heavier. But it's simply our recognition of what was there all along. Let's see. Anna, could you ask my higher self how I'm doing? I'm going to do my bestest to keep up, guys. So Anna's next, then Flex, then other Anna. All right. So Anna De Silva. How is Anna doing? This one wanted to come out before. Okay, Anna, you got Prince of Summer and Queen of Summer. I feel like you are doing a lot of emotional work, and it's actually doing a lot for you. It's actually moving a lot of energy within your emotional body, which is great. It is helping you to balance. It might make you feel unbalanced, but that's because you're in the process of balancing, if that makes sense. Okay, so don't feel frustrated if you feel out of balance. You just need to give it the attention. It's so when the emotions arise for your attention, give it the attention it's asking for at that time. Don't like shove it down for a later date or a later time. Give it the attention it's asking for, because that's going to allow you to move it on. Okay, so you are going through a period of emotional shifting, but it is because you're coming into more balance and you're moving forward in your emotional healing. Okay. Flex was next for a message from his guides. Message for Flex from guides, please. Wow. Okay. I'm going to start with this, the Magician. And you've got a unicorn on there. And 4 interlocking circles and the infinity symbol. I feel like you're reaching a new level of mastery is really how I'm feeling. I feel like your energy is coming into balance. Oh, okay, it is the unicorn. Unicorn, there's magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. And I'm just feeling that new level of mastery of your own energy, and that there were things maybe in the past that might have pushed you over the edge, or maybe like taken over your mental space, and you're not allowing that as much. I mean, nobody's perfect, but like you're really beginning to control the way that you are unconsciously manifesting things, if that makes sense. So that is very positive. Release came up. It's the Death card, Peacock. It's time to release the past and move on to something new. This ending is the first step in the way, on the way to a happy future. So with these together, I feel like more than an ending, I feel like this is about a transformation of you, okay, of your energy and of yourself and of your way of being, and the way they keep pointing me back to the way that you're unconsciously manifesting. So whatever is, you're more conscious of what is in your shadow, in your unconscious, okay? You're allowing that light to be shined on that, so that you are not, so once you bring awareness to it, it changes it all together, okay? And and you're more purposeful about how you're using your energy, if that makes sense. Anna Cronin. Just wanted to come. Message for Anna Cronin. Ooh. You also got the Magician, Anna, and the Seven of Summer. Ooh. Magician with the Seven of Summer. Let's see. So let me just feel into this energy. There's an energy here of discernment, of having a really sharp sense now of what it is that you want or need to come into your life. And so I want you to start trusting that, okay? It's possible that you weren't trusting it as much as you could have in the past. But I feel like you know what it is, you know the choice that you want to make or need to make or whatever. It might be a positive thing and you're just afraid to go. I'm not getting an idea of whether it's positive, or I don't feel so much like it's like cutting somebody out of your life. It's almost like I feel like there's a new direction you could go in that's kind of exciting or something like that. And I feel like you might have been doubting yourself a little bit, and so you don't need to have that self-doubt, that you have that power to do whatever it is that you've been thinking about or considering. If I'm off base on that and it is about removing something from your life, then just know that the main message here, the first card that came out is the Magician, that you have the power to do whatever it is, to make the choice to discern what out of this whole mess of things is for you. Okay. Nicole would like to know, what's the energy around, oh my God, there are so many messages and I'm so far behind. What is the energy around this new relationship? For Nicole, what's the energy around her new relationship? Okay. So you've got the Four of Winter with the Two of Summer, okay? The Eight of Winter and the High Priestess. So I'm feeling like there is a connection there, so that's very good. I feel like it's a little bit dormant right now because one or both of you is not making as much of the intuitive connection that you could. I feel like they're blocking it a little bit. The way that this can work is that as they awaken, they will start to make that connection more, but there's still this bird in the cage a little bit, because this expansive wisdom energy is like overwhelming right now. It's they're not getting the message on that level yet, on that intuitive level yet. And that doesn't mean that they won't. There is definitely a connection here, but it's still kind of in a resting phase. Okay. So it's like, this says Four of Winter, and I'm reminded about when someone once told me that I was in a winter cycle because Saturn was opposite my natal sun. So it's almost like that's your sleeping hibernation phase, and it will open up into this two of summer, but it's going to require this breaking out of the cage, okay, and allowing this deeper intuition. Okay, this to me feels like this person needs to go through an awakening, which is okay. That's fine. We all were there once. Okay. Peace like a river. Will my daughter and I reconcile? I miss her. My feeling about that is like, you have the power to make that happen. If you want it, you have the power to make that happen. But let's see what the cards say. Let's see if I can get one more. Will her daughter and she reconcile? Oh, thought something turned over. I guess it didn't. her daughter and she reconcile? All right. Yep. This makes sense. Okay. So the first card that came out is the Nine of Spring, which to me tells me it's the gazelle. And I feel like that's like this go for it attitude, this like graceful movement, but you have to, this is like you've worked really hard. Um, and there's a lot, there's more work to be done to get there. So don't be distracted, or don't be put off by any kind of annoyances or things that seem to be getting in the way, because what you have here is a new beginning, but you will have to take control of it. Okay, you will have to, and you will probably have to initiate or be the person to ground this new beginning. Okay, not her necessarily, but the end result is 10 of Summer. It's like these two look like they're reconciling there, which is great. And the 10 of Summer, of course, is like emotional fulfillment, family, all that kind of stuff. So it sounds really positive, but you will have to make that move. You will have to push through anything that might feel difficult or feel like a roadblock. It isn't necessarily. So just push through it, and you will have to initiate, or may have. I don't know if you'll have to initiate it, but I would say that you probably have to initiate it and make sure that you're doing that work to get there. Okay. Let's see. Will I feel light and experience joy anytime soon in the near future for Goddess Awakened? Will she feel light and experience joy anytime soon in the near future? Yes. And what they're actually saying here is that, so you've got the Ace of Autumn with the Seven of Summer, and the card itself is talking about procrastination, and of course the Ace of Autumn is a new beginning. I also feel like you get this new beginning, you get this happiness the moment you choose to have it. That's so obnoxious. I know everybody hates when I say stuff like that, but literally you just have to align with it and choose it as your reality, and then allow your reality to shift to match that vibration. So it's so much easier for me to say than to do, but it does work because I've done it so many times in my own life. So essentially I feel like this is saying, stop procrastinating, make that choice and do it. Just be it. Make the choice to be happy now is what I think. There's some oracle card somewhere that says that. Jody Person, message from my divine masculine, please. Okay. I'll get another one, but it starts with the Five of Summer. And so I feel like there are a lot of, let's see what this says. And the Magician. Okay. So I do feel like this person is making it happen, basically making the moving forward from regretful actions or things that they may regret or have guilt over. I feel like they're taking that, and they're taking the actions necessary in order to move forward from whatever that is. Okay. So I feel like this is maybe a difficult time for that person. Yeah, I'm really feeling that in my solar plexus. This person is probably going through a period of rediscovering who they are, okay, and also some anger, some regret, some sadness, and I think that it's they're having to rediscover the way that they're maneuvering through the world and how they are what's the word I'm trying to say? It's not maneuver, it's navigate, how they're navigating through the various issues that are going on for them in their family life and in their business life. I'm feeling that it's both. and that there are many disappointments going on now, but that's all part of the process to getting, moving from the 5 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8 to 9. So I'm getting the feeling that this is a specific time and a process, and they're probably going through the same kind of step that we're all going through now, just really churning through, moving through dense energies. And for them, it feels more like it's happening on the physical plane, whereas we're dealing with it on an energetic plane. Okay. With the Magician coming up, it feels very positive because it feels like this person knows they can do it, can get through it, even if it kind of sucks right now. Let's see. HMC, should I take the leap after a short time period out and away from people for me to physically move locations or stay patient? I hope that was clear. So basically you want to know, should you take the leap to physically move locations? Should you take the leap to physically move locations? For HMC, should you take the leap to physically move locations? I don't want that one. Yeah. I'm getting a yes because I have the Prince of Summer, which is the Prince of Cups, with the 8 of Autumn, which is the 8 of Coins or Pentacles. And so, maybe this is that timeout period you're talking about. Like, almost feel like this is your study period. Like, you're really, to me, this almost feels like the Hermit card, where you're going within a little bit and you're kind of getting your footing. You're getting a little bit balanced. You're learning things. You're understanding. They're saying you're understanding more of what you want. Maybe setting some goals, but also like, I'm hearing setting boundaries. So if there's some reason why you need to set some boundaries, then this is the time to do that. And then it may be time to take a movement forward. I don't know if this is moving towards somebody who you have an emotional bond to. People tend to move for 2 reasons: work or emotional reasons, like whether you're moving toward family or moving toward a relationship. So I feel like this is one that is, you're moving toward a relationship. Just make sure that you have done this work first and that you're ready. Okay. Don't step into it like super overly romanticized. All right. So this to me is a real grounding influence. Okay. Let's see. Casa, CASA. I'm reading that as Casa. I have cried every day for weeks now. Everything that isn't serving me has been removed. Every time I think I hit rock bottom, I get pushed farther down. What the F is going on? You, my dear, are probably, at least right now, in some kind of dark night of the soul. I don't know if you recently started this process or if this has been going on for a very long time. But the earlier stages of awakening can be like that, because you're really releasing, I'm hearing generations and generations of toxic programming. You're releasing dense energy you've held. You're releasing shit from your past lives. You're releasing tons and tons of stuff. So I feel for you, this is a part of your awakening process. And I apologize. You guys are probably still down here talking. 6 months. Okay. Yeah. So, I would say that, yeah, so you're getting the 4 of Winter. Right now you're in this holding pattern where you're really pulling out a lot of this crap. And that to me does feel kind of like a dark night of the soul. Because, what is this? King of Winter. Okay. Because it is, this can also represent meditation and sort of going within. And so that is the major function of the dark night of the soul. And it allows us to clear away all the shit that we don't need anymore. And so you've got the King of Winter here coming up, who is like the great equalizer, as the words they just said. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it comes up with the Star. And so you're going through an intensive healing process, and like like truth bomb time. Like you're getting truth bombed like on the daily, it feels like. Okay. So do know that this is temporary. It is painful, but do not resist it. Allow all the shit that just keep allowing it to go. I don't know what your particular situation is, so I don't want to, I don't want to trivialize anything that you may have lost or gone through. But it is to be released. And remember, like if you were here for the beginning of the reading when we were doing the collective portion, we were talking all about allowing the flow and how important that is right now, especially this coming week. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh, good. I'm seeing some of your messages about my messages resonating with you. So thank you. I appreciate that. That helps me so much. Let's see here. MM says, what can I do in the 5D to help my divine masculine get strong enough to help or to leave a toxic relationship? I pray and send love, light, and positive energy every single day. I just want him to be okay. All right. So I'm going to pull some cards, but okay, I'm going to go for the cards first because I hate to give my own opinion. Not supposed to give my opinion. I'm reading the cards. That's way too many. Okay. All right. 8 of Autumn with the 4 of Spring. So this is like the 8 of Pentacles with the 4 of Wands. And so what I'm getting from this is, number one, focusing back in on yourself. Okay. I know everybody says it all the time and everybody's sick as shit of hearing about it. But let me tell you, this is so important. It is the only way. There is literally no benefit to trying to like focus on the other person, because the entire point is to focus in on yourself. And so the things that you're thinking about them or wondering about them or worrying about them, take a look at that. And then why my nose? That drives me crazy. And turn it back around on yourself. What is it that you're worrying about them? And see how that applies to you. And that is what you need to do to focus on. When you clear that in yourself, it will begin to be cleared in them. Okay. That is so important. And I have to remind myself of that all the time. I have not been doing this out like that particular journey. I've not been on that. Okay. That's not true. I've been on it my whole life, but I've only been conscious of it for like a year. But that was such a quick lesson that I learned, and I've seen such physical results from it that I know it's the truth. So remember that. Remember to focus in on yourself. If you're worried they're not like moving on from something toxic, what is the toxic thing that you're holding on to? Okay, that's exactly where you need to be putting your energy and creating the stability for yourself. Okay. The other thing I'm really getting out of this 4 of Wands card, the 4 of Spring, right now is what is going to help for whatever reason is a general sense of gratitude for the connection itself and for everything that you have. Okay, so I don't know if that means anything to you, or if that's been a struggle recently or something that you do frequently. Could be either way, but that general sense of gratitude for both the connection and everything that you have and all the progress you've made is actually going to really propel you forward in doing your own work, and your own work is what is going to help them. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you had another, I guess is a question. Will he find his self-love and power in this lifetime? I will check a quick one for that, but I do want to get as many people in. We're over an hour now. All right, so I feel like the answer is yes. It's the 5 of Spring with the 4 of Winter, the King of Winter, and the Star. And so it's going to be a process, MM. That person's going to have to go through his own process, his own healing. He needs to go internally the same way that you do. And so that's the only route to this. That's the only way. So he's going to need to fight his own battles. He's going to need to go inside. He's going to need to make the changes that he needs to make in order to receive this ultimate incredible healing. Okay. Dimitri. Hello, Emily. Can you tell me if there will be any changes in my love life? Thank you. Okay, so for Dimitri. Also, Jody or Nicole, if anybody asks any more questions at this point, I think I've taken all that I can because we're over an hour now. So let's see. Okay, yeah. I'm going to stop there. Dimitri, I've pulled the Two of Spring here. So I feel like there is a lot of potential. Okay. This to me feels like you're going to need to make some choices to do something, make some plans or make some choices that you might be in sort of a phase where you're not moving. Okay. So you're going to have to move. You're going to have to get out of the house or, I don't know, approach people or even just make the choice that it could just be the simple needing to make the profound choice that you want that relationship in your life and saying that as an affirmation on the daily, you know? Okay, let's see what else came out here. Six of Autumn, Six of Coins. Okay, so with the two of these together, what am I feeling here? I do feel like you may also still have some, okay, so the Six of Coins would absolutely be about balance. Okay. And so you might still need to make that conscious choice to go inward and work on your own balance. I also kind of feel like this represents some kind of activity or reaching out into the physical plane, like in this card traditionally someone is giving money to poor people, right? So it's possible that the choice that you need to make is to make an exchange, an interaction, something with people in the physical world. I don't know. It's not that you're not doing that necessarily, but there's something more that you need to do there. So if you are not tending to go out and meet people or whatever, then that might be what's holding you back right now. And that's like making that choice and actually going and doing that on the physical plane is going to make a difference for you. Okay. Let's see, Michelle. What would be in my best interest to do at this point in my awakening? For Michelle, what would be in her best interest to do at this point in her awakening? Ooh. Okay. The first card that came out is the World. This one I think wants to come. With the Four of Spring. I'm feeling like okay, so I know this feeling. I'm feeling like you need to sort of rest for a minute and just like it's almost like I'm hearing rest on your laurels. Like you have made some progress and you're at a good spot. So allow that. Like we don't need to always be pushing, working. That's kind of what I was talking about in the beginning, that there's a sense of like please don't take this negatively. I don't mean this directed at you, but I'm saying it because I've done it myself. So I'm kind of like explaining it in terms of that. There's a sense of like spiritual egoism when we just keep pushing and pushing, achieve more. You know what I mean? I want to achieve the next level of enlightenment or open up the next chakra or whatever. And there's, you know, it's good to have that goal and to, you know, want to achieve that kind of enlightenment. But I'm feeling for you now that it's okay to rest and it's okay to like be proud of how far you've come and everything you've accomplished. And just kind of enjoy it for the moment because the next level is going to come slap you in the ass before you like are ready for it. So So right now, just accept it as a completed cycle for the moment, and you're going to you will soon be presented with your next phase. Okay, you just need to be listening for it and open to it. All right. Um, what do I think of Costa Rica around you? I'm not sure what that means, but I will. Do you mean literally the country of Costa Rica? What do I think of Costa Rica around Lana? Seven of Autumn is coming up. So if you've invested in something, I'm assuming you mean literally that you're in Costa Rica. For some reason, I don't know why I keep, maybe you're answering me down here. I've been getting some synchronicities. Okay. Um, I think if you work and invest time and energy into making whatever that is, something happen, then there is a lot of potential there for growth. Okay. Um, this is not a super like yes, yes, yes card, but this is definitely like it can take some work, but there's a lot of potential there. Let's see here. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm trying to. 'Goddess awakened, is my divine masculine still stuck and in fear, or has he surrendered and awakened and breaking patterns? Okay, let's find out. This is for Goddess awakened. Ten of Spring. That's definitely a surrender of some sort. Okay. So do know that there is some kind of surrender or on the brink of surrendering. It could be that right now things are pressuring. I'm kind of feeling like pressuring down on him to the point where he's going to have to set the burden down. Okay, so it's a little bit. It could be like right on the edge there. All right. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading. Um, HMC. Nothing specific did come to mind at that moment, necessarily, except for it did feel like there was some kind of like I don't know. Maybe I was just making an assumption that you might be moving toward a relationship. Um, Malia, P.S. You skipped people. Sorry, I'm doing my very best. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anybody here who has not gotten a question answered. Okay. All right, guys. It looks like I got all the questions that everybody who asked one, as far as I can tell. Up until Jody closed the questions, did get an answer. I apologize if I missed you. It is very hard to keep up with this and read and hear and all the stuff. So I'm going to close with a quick, what are these? Sacred geometry card. for the collective. Let's get a sacred geometry card for the collective. What do we need for this week? What do we need going through for this week? What does the collective need going forward into this next week? Okay. All right. I've got contact. Who's that card? Contact. And third wave came out, which is interesting because I heard those words not having to do with divine compliments, but having to do with the waves of energy coming in. So it could be that that's what's coming up here. But I feel like we should be expecting additional energetic waves coming down. There's the number 3 showing up actually in both of these cards with the 3 circles and this being third wave, and 3 weeks was what I got in the beginning of this reading for how much longer some of these more intense energies are going to keep coming through in this current cycle. So let's just remember to surrender to the waves as they come in, to allow the release of any dense energies, any kind of programming that we need to release, any kind of subconscious darkness that we have, any kind of repetitive negative thinking. That's super important. Those are the most important things. Those things are going to affect when you're releasing relationships that need to go, jobs that need to go, hobbies that need to go, addictions that need to go, all that kind of stuff. All right. So I just want to remind you that this is like, I mean, do this like it's your job right now. It's just the releasing, the allowing of the changes. Let the waves contact you, like let them make contact and do their job and then release everything that you possibly can. Okay. So that is our final message for tonight. I thank you guys so much for being here. If you would like a private, I should start saying this in the beginning, I always forget. If you would like a private session with me, you can find that on IamEmilyGear.com. And I also have offered some recorded readings for at a slightly lower price point if that has been the issue. That just allows me to do it on my personal time, email it to you, and you get your reading that way. Okay, so you can set up an in-person meeting with me or do it that way. Okay, guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And look for me next Thursday and look for my videos in the meantime when I upload them this coming week. All right, have a great week. Remember, surrender. Remember the divine feminine, to be in that energy. And I love you guys and talk to you soon. Okay, bye.